Hello there, folks. I'm Dan Brown from sortofinterestinglife.com, and you're joining me on my bike as we're heading out of good old Oswestry out in Shropshire, and just passing the last couple of houses in town to head down to a place called Ponduncan, which I will put the spelling of on the screen rather than explain it, as it's one that for almost, well, all of my life basically, as with many other people from the local area, I completely mispronounced, but I really wanted to focus on this opening shot here of just how narrow the roads are now that all the summer greenery and growth has started to grow up, as this is something that seems to fascinate a lot of people from various parts of the world where they're not familiar and not used to seeing roads this narrow and this small. But as you can imagine, as the summer growth and greenery all comes up and the hedgerows get wider, it just gets extremely narrow. So I just wanted to share this, and basically you just have to hope you don't meet anything coming the other way, because one of you has to then back up to the nearest lay-by or what have you. And this is Ponduncan itself, and I'm going to cut to some non-GoPro shots here because I wanted to just give you a quick glance at the place. This is only moments out of town, and yet this is one of those places that a lot more people have heard of and been to, I suppose, than some of the places that I show that are right on the doorstep. But it's still one of those places that you rarely meet anybody, and I wanted to just throw this shot in here and just, oh, hang on, this isn't just a lovely shot of the scenery. Anyway, back to the actual biking. As you can imagine, that obviously is pretty much how I spend most of my time when I find any water about the place. There's surely a rope swing not too far away. Now we're heading down here into Morda. We're just going to briefly pass through, and like I say, this isn't a video that's really intended to be an in-depth show reel for the local area, but I thought I'd just put these bits and pieces together and have a little chat. And you can see here again, one of the common themes throughout all of my biking videos, unfortunately, is just how bumpy the road is, even on a place that looks, to the naked eye at least, as nice and smooth and straightforward as this simple downhill stretch into the village itself. We're going to cut straight through and across the main crossroads at Morda. Again, this is irrelevant information for anybody who's not really familiar with the area, but basically we're cutting straight out to a place called Weston, where we then go back to not quite so narrow a road as this, but just a country lane that's going to take us out to the industrial estate back on the outskirts of Oswestry. And this is Weston itself. That building there you're seeing is an old bakery, and oh my goodness me, how much history there is wrapped up in just this one little place. And you've got the railway that we're going to be passing out over the bridge as we go this way. But again, there's not loads and loads to say. You can just see the railway bridge as we're about to cut away from it. And I just wanted to throw in this random moment here of cutting through the industrial estate and doing my good deed for the day and picking up the road sign, picking up the sign for some sort of cafe out of the road, if I can get my words. That was it. Only fools and sauces. A good British comedy reference there for anybody. Anyway, on that note, as we head up back into the main part of town, I'll say thanks for watching. Check out my other videos for loads of biking, weekly biking videos. Feel free to subscribe, and of course add me on Facebook and like the Facebook page for loads of general photos and goodness knows what of the general scenery. And please do consider checking out my books. Find the links to everything mentioned in the description below. Until the next time, keep it bike worthy, keep it boat worthy, and of course, farewell.